Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Business Spotlight podcast series. I'm joined today by John Pegg, and John is the owner and the founder of Knight Property Services. So welcome to the call, John.
Hi there. Yes, thank you. You go
John,
first.
it's good to see you. So tell us a little bit about Knight Property Services. What is it that you do?
So we specialise in residential sales, residential lettings, new homes, property management, and every aspect around estate agency.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
We've been operating for over 10 years now.
All right, okay.
We're in our 11th year this year.
Right. Well, congratulations for getting to that point, and also through all the challenges that the world has thrown at you over recent years. John, what is it? Where does your passion for property come from?
It started really when I was I got asked to leave school, and then I had to go out into full-time employment, and I realised I had an ability for sales, working in a retail shop.
Yeah.
Which everyone would know it as House of Fraser, and I worked on the luggage department. So
Right.
I enjoyed engaging with people and ultimately, looking to try and strike a deal. And then I took that onto a estate agency purely by chance. It was a family friend that saw an article in the newspaper that put me forward for it. But it really, I'd had previous experience where my uncle was reasonably high up in Man Countrywide. And one of my very close friends, his dad was an owner of an estate agency. So I kind of saw the lifestyle that the estate, if you were good at it, the sort of lifestyle that you could have off the back of it. And then I was very fortunate where I've worked for two very big companies. And I think really, if you really want to test yourself in any industry, you've almost got to put yourself in a position where you're competing against, on the widest possible scale, competing against the best. And that allowed me to do that, to gain more experience. And both companies were interesting for different reasons. The first company that I was there for nearly a decade taught me the ins and outs of estate agency in general and how to sharpen everything up, training courses. The second company taught me how to be an entrepreneur, which was obviously very different. So it gave me a kind of a good foundation to then go on and
set up your own business.
Go into business.
There's a lot in what you've just shared. So I'm gonna work with you to unpick a couple of those things. So I think the first thing that jumped out at me was it was almost a casual throwaway statement, but you said you were asked to leave school. So tell us a little bit about that. What happened there?
So I just had a problem with the educational system in general. I think the stuff that they were teaching me, like Pythagoras or Latin, stuff like that, didn't really grab my attention, and I've not used it since I left school. Whereas I think the school system is in disrepair and almost needs a complete overhaul. They should be teaching children about how taxes work, how your credit rated, what your credit rating is, how compounded interest works, and just investment strategies, or even wealth management or entrepreneurial skills.
Right. Okay. Right. You've got me there for absolutely, for sure. But the thing I noticed then was that, basically what you were describing is how you went out and almost you self-educated yourself on those things that really mattered to you. And you said all kinds of things in there, such as, if you want to test yourself, basically you go up against the best. You didn't use those words, but that was kind of the implication of what you were saying. So tell me a little bit about this drive and this entrepreneurial passion of yours, because it's clearly a mindset issue. This is something that is very much part of you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it came from, don't get me wrong, my parents always provided a good upbringing for me, but we were never rich. We certainly weren't, poor, but working class family. And my parents definitely taught me the mindset, first of all, of working hard, but they never gave me anything. It was almost my first car. I had to wash cars from the age of 14 to be able to save up the money for the insurance and the deposit to buy my first car. And I guess I saw people around me when I was younger, got gifted things, new expensive cars and stuff like that. And I thought, one day I'm going to have that. And I want to be in a position when I've got children, I can make them work for it, of course, because that was a valuable lesson, but almost be able to, give them the opportunity to, get something like that themselves.
Yeah. So it sounds from what you're saying that you very much see that wealth follows success. Your hunger isn't for wealth. Your hunger is for success. If you were washing cars to get a car, rather than gifted a car, then it's
Yes.
the success that comes before the wealth, before the
And I think
possession.
I've realised the journey. It's the journey now that matters, not necessarily the end, the destination, getting the prize. Because I think a lot of people will agree that once you chase wealth and you finally get it, it gets to a point, maybe a new car, maybe, a new house or something like that. You actually still feel a little bit unfulfilled. And I recognise now that it's the actual journey that I go on to getting to that point.
Okay. So how has this influenced and affected the way you've built your business and that the people that are working with you, for example?
One thing I would do is a lot of my directors I worked under from previous companies were very paranoid and insecure. And what I mean by that is my last company, I started building a sizable HMO, single lets, buy to flip portfolio. And it got to a point where I was probably owning more properties than what they ever did. And they were almost trying to put the brakes on me. And with my staff, I would promote for them to be able to help generate their own property portfolios and build their own wealth. That doesn't intimidate me. If anything, the quicker they do it, the quicker I get to retire.
Yeah. Okay. That's really good. And so you're promoting other people's success as well.
Yeah.
So your success comes from their success. It's really fascinating. So tell me about some of your influences, because obviously, I'm getting the impression here that you're a deep thinker. You think about, matters of the head and the heart in what it is that you do. Is there anybody in particular or any author in particular that has inspired you?
There's a few books that started out, stuff like The Compound Effect.
Right.
Also, The Secret was something that one of my first books I read. Any sort of mindset business book, Atomic Habits.
Great book, that one. Yeah.
Like just Napoleon Hill as well.
Oh, but you're
rich.
You're reading off Jim Rohn. You're going to tell me you've read some Jim Rohn as well. Yeah, yes. Fantastic. Yeah, but there's an important lesson here, isn't there? And that is that it's not just about hard work. It is about educating ourselves as well. It's about learning and thinking and reflecting that affects us. I think it was Jim Rohn actually that said that you are the product of the 5 people you surround yourself by the most. And people have misunderstood that. They've thought about it, who it is, than their family or friends or whatever. But it isn't. It's who you read, it's who you watch, it's who inspires, those kind of things, isn't it?
I often use that with the staff in the office as well.
Do you? Fantastic. So what's it like for them working for you, would you say? No, that's a hard question for you to ask, but put yourself in their shoes.
I think it's fun, certainly. We make the whole enjoyment of coming to work. We celebrate our successes. We obviously discuss our losses. But yeah, I'd say in terms of as a business to work for, we're one of the best estate agents reputation-wise. And you can see that from our Google reviews. We've got, I think, over 525 5-star Google reviews. So we're obviously doing something right within the area. And I think we definitely reward and look after our staff. I mean, I was joking to one of the staff members this week that we give staff up to about 6 or 7 weeks off on holiday during a calendar year.
Yeah. And why, by the way? I'm kind of anticipating your answer, but I'm interested to know why.
Nurturing the staff. I mean, one thing is, and I think it comes from personal experience, my business partner and me both come from a corporate background where we had to work throughout the whole of Christmas. We may have got Christmas Day and Boxing Day off. Me, certainly, I had to work 13 days on a trot where you do a double weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday, a bit like the car industry. And in the end, I think it had its effect on certainly a number of my colleagues that I worked with at the time, where they ended up getting out of the industry, falling out in love with it, couldn't raise families, couldn't see their partners and loved ones. Whereas, yeah, I think we recognise that. And I think society nowadays still wants to do estate agency, but they always want the flexibility that comes with it as well.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. So tell me, John, what's the future for your business? Where do you want to take it now?
We want to go international. So not just happy just to be in the home counties and stuff like that. And we certainly haven't got a plan where we want to have a business or an office in every single town. I think the days of that are gone now, and it's more focusing on certain areas. But passion of mine has always been Spain. A few years ago, after COVID, I bought a home out in Spain where we spend a bit of time with the family and stuff like that. And that was a driving force behind that was my vision to be able to open up nights in Spain. And also my business partner had experience in Dubai, and I nearly went off to Dubai before me and him went into business with one another. And that's another avenue that we want to tackle as well.
Fantastic. And you seem to have the same passion and drive as you had when you described as when you started the business as well.
Well, I still get excited when we get an offer, an exchange, an instruction, you know, even a solicitor sign up or an FS sign up. Yeah. And that's a passion, yeah, that fortunately, touch wood, I've had now for the last 24, 25 years.
Fantastic. John, it's been really fantastic talking to you. I love your reading list. I really do. And I encourage, as I'm sure you do, other people to learn about themselves, learn about what makes them tick if they want to be successful in business. It's not just about what they do, it's how they think. Would you not agree?
I would agree, yes.
Fantastic. It's been great talking to you, and I wish you all the best for the future and future success of your business.
Thank you very much. See you later.